home, I think one thing you don't want to do is concede early. And that's why, as I said, there's a formation change with the South African team. And they will make it difficult. I think they're going to work more on the counter-attack, see if they can get some dead ball, free kick or corner kicks to get a goal. So I think that's where, if they can frustrate Mexico the longer, I think it's going to be more difficult for them. So this match, I don't think that they're not going to this game to get 3 points. They're trying to go out and not lose the game. So that's a team where it's always difficult to play a team like that.
I was talking to Igor about this during the break when we just managed to get the team sheets, and Baichung was there as well. The last game that they played in the warm-up against Nicaragua, there's 7 changes, but if you go the game before that, there's only 2 changes from that side. So the personnel, Igor, are very much from that previous game. He was just obviously giving rounds to the players.
Obviously their coach, Gross, was going to check the systems, various systems in the friendly games, which are normally used to adapt for the opponents you are facing at the World Cup. And obviously he's well aware about the strength of Mexican side, advantages they have, and as Baichung said, they will try to make their life difficult as long as possible.
And from
more than that.
From your experience as a manager, how important is that final then team talk in the dressing room before those players go out and walk out onto the pitch for their opening game?
That's only the final one, which is mostly psychologically going to unite everything what you were mentioning in the past 4 weeks, and you cannot go through the details. This final talk goes on for 2 minutes, no more than that. But it's important now to see what they were working on the pitch before that, what were the focuses for their players, because we know that sides like South Africa are not disciplined enough throughout the game. They might start the game very disciplined in the formation they have, but as the game goes on, the discipline will be loose.
Okay.
If I can add, I think the one great sign of South Africa is I think most of the players play in South African League. If you look at a lot of African teams, a lot of their players play in European leagues and some other leagues across the world. So I think they're also building a team for the long-term planning is there. You can see that they're trying to develop the homegrown talent. That itself shows that the league within the country is quite strong. So when you have players playing their own domestic league and representing the country, and it's not easy, especially from African continent, to qualify, because you've got some of the best teams there in Africa to really play for this World Cup. And South Africa is qualified, having a lot of majority of players playing in the domestic league, shows that I think the league structure is right and they're looking at long-term development program.
Okay, we're going to actually focus in on South Africa in a little bit more detail and learn a bit more about their goalkeeper, Roman Williams, who's overcome a lot in his life and actually a personal tragedy. And he talks here and tells us how football has inspired him. What a story, and he was just so brave to share so much, and it just goes to show you never quite know what's going on behind closed doors and in someone's life.
No, you don't, and it's a personal tragedy to him, but he's come out of it shining. And I tell you what, that will actually help the dressing room as well, because all the players will galvanise around him, they'll all be supportive of him, and that could be something that helps spur them on in this tournament. So, whilst it's a sad story, it could work out as a positive for South Africa.
It certainly could. Okay, on that note, we are going to move on. We're going to take a break, after which we'll continue our build-up to the opening match here at the FIFA World Cup 2026. It's Mexico taking on South Africa, and we'll bring you even more on the other side of this break.